Well, I'm gonna talk about two things about success and failure, and then answering the question about how to translate the experience as a learner designing a course as a teacher now. So, well, I think first of all, like success in an online learning program, of course, relates first of all on being self-motivated, being motivated to achieve the fine like ending the course because you're interested in the matter or you're interested in the content or so, and then of course other aspects that were already mentioned in those two videos, one by Eric Hudson and the other one by Dylan William, and also in other places, is of course the feedback that we as a tutors or online instructors can provide to the students, uh, and then of course like the continuous communication on the task rather than on the ego, as Dylan mentioned. So all those things, I have experienced them positive in some courses that I have been taking, but I have also experienced the downside of this when you don't receive on time feedback, and of course it's like you are making an effort to like work at night or different time of and then you're in your working time and then you don't receive feedback. I'm not talking about this course. I have on in this all the experience have actually very good impression on the tutors. I really admire them as a really being very attentive to our needs and our activities, kind of following through those so that we don't decay. But I have had experience. I myself am in the end part of a master's degree in an online, precisely on online modus, and it's like sometimes some teachers they really very lacking of feedback, and of course that's not the case. I will say in this case for me it's that I'm really interested into accomplishing this masters. That's why I carry through. But if I think I will have another profile or interest or personality, perhaps I will stop because it's not really rewarding sometimes. On the other side, I would say that our students, in some cases, they are really self-confident, they are self-motivated, but I think generally teenagers, when you like grade, I don't know, 7, 8, 9, it's hard for them sometimes to be really independent learners, although we want to bring them to being at that stage, especially when it comes to the IB program. They really need to be independent learners. But to me, it has been really hard to bring them, or sometimes I post activities, I design a homework or a classwork, and it's often hard because they really rely a lot on the teacher. So I think it's that part is to me critical. On the other side, Anne already mentioned that the lack of time and the over being overwhelmed, it's a kind of issue for as a student or as a teacher perhaps as well. So for me, for example, I will give you here two links that I it might be useful. There is this University for Peace. I don't know if you have heard about that. They have this completely automated courses, self directed courses for lifelong learners. This is interesting because in that kind of modality you will really have the time, all the time you need to accomplish a course, and of course you can enroll and then you know that you have, I don't know, 3 months or 6 months or 3 weeks, as much as you want, and I think that part is also good. Of course, it's a different setting and different modality, but everything is online, it's not blended. On the other side, there is another link that I want to share with you. It's about this guy, well, this psychology doctor called Dave Van Nuys. I don't know if you have heard about him. He has this podcast called Shrink Rap Radio. I really love this podcast and it's great. And then on the number 261, he interviews one person who has I think his name is Brian Johnson, and then he gives some interesting. He created his own PhD and master's degree, and he explains how he, as a lifelong learner, and as he wanted to, yeah, just a lover of knowledge. What is the implied word or the meaning of philosophy, actually? So he gives interesting. I can you can I will put the link to that show. Maybe you might like it. So finally, I'm coming to the answer the question how I will translate my experience as an online learner into an useful design for my students. Well, I think first of all, I will try to give them as much time as would be possible, as I could allot for them to accomplish some activities, perhaps giving less activities and more time, or more time with perhaps more activities. I think that part is critical. Of course, providing resources, links, examples, ideas on how can they make a progress, or how they know they are on the right path, with the ideas of giving feedback as again on the task, rather as a feedback as an ego. And this guy with the, well, Dylan William, he kind of makes raises the point, like which like ability is incremental, not fixed. This is also goes together with the concept of mind fixed and growing mindset from Carol Dwight. Well, yeah, that part is I think I will try to do that. And of course, the last part, perhaps, I mean, there's more to say, but I think some people, they are really good for being more autonomous learners. Some students of us, they really can follow through, but others, they need more time, more guidance. So I will really always kind of try to know more my students before I give some assignments, because I definitely can imagine that some students will excel completely in some blended activities, and others will have some struggles because perhaps because they have been less exposed and to this kind of activities, or their learning style are just different, or they cannot they tend to procrastinate as some of us do and stuff. So I think those personal conditions, to know them before we really start a blended learning course, are really important. Sometimes me as a student, I was enrolled in some MOOCs, and also in another online learning course, but I was enrolled not because I wanted, but I needed to. So it's always hard, and then the tutors, they think we all have the same, well, some tutors might think that we have the same backgrounds or the same time or this or that. So I think that knowing that personal part of the learners is critical. Well, I think I'm gonna stop here because it's already enough. So thank you, and see you soon, guys.